assorted barons and baronesses of the Middle Kingdom.
Here opens the court of their Majesties, Cameron and Adeline, the 17th day of September, Anno Societatis 51, at the Middle Kingdom Academy of Defense, hosted by Ravenslake. Her Majesty calls into her presence Master Anton Dumouriez.
Your Majesty, at Simple Day, I came and I begged a boon to put Warder Kai Singh on vigil for the Master of Defense. Today, I would beg a second boon, that today he be admitted.
Ask him if it is within our power and a proper thing is not yours.
I would ask that today he be elevated to the Order of Defense.
Masters and mistresses of the Order of Defense, present yourselves before the crowd.
Noble lords and ladies, is it your opinion that Kai, for his prowess, loyalty, and courtesy, is worthy of elevation in the Order of Defense?
Aye.
Order, Kai Singh, present yourself before the crowd.
Make way for Warder Kai Singh, Warder of Campaign. A traveler from the Middle Kingdom to the Middle Kingdom, as it were. Aid companion of the Order of the Cavendish Knot by Peter, and then Astrid. Kingdom Ranger Champion of Peter, and then Astrid. Aid companion of the Bronze Ring by Ula and Annalise. Thief of hearts, protege of Maggie and Alexander. Husband, friend, comrade in arms, who, like Dibble, fights by the book of arithmetic. Make way for his stealthiness. Warder Kai Singh.
Is there a royal peer who will attest to Kai's ability?
Your gracious Majesty, friends, Kai Singh is an exemplar of all that is courteous, generous, loyal, friendly, and an all-round good example of what we like to be. I wish to say that he is well known for treating his opponents with the utmost in chivalry and courtesy, and on the landing field, the utmost of chivalry and courtesy means well-dressed, well-spoken, well-presented, and an elegant death to the opponent. Your Majesty, I present him to you as a proud and superb candidate for your Order of Defense.
Is there a member of the chivalry who will attest to Kai's courtesy and chivalry?
I'm Joseph Rashid, and I have words here for my grandniece who could not be here today, so Lola. And it simply reads, Greetings from here, Lucas Rushnight. I regret that nature prevents my presence, but I commend unto you the order Kai Sing for his knightly virtues. Among these virtues are prowess, courage, honesty, loyalty, largesse, faith, and franchise. Prowess is ranked the first among these virtues for a martial order. Many have prowess, but it is a rare few that realize that prowess is not an end but a path. Worse still are those that can awaken, worse still reckon other virtues in his path. Kai is indeed one of these rare few. He already shows skill in combat arts, but grew discontent and desire to gain more. I have long observed his journey as he became deadly, studious, and an inspiration. I can attest that he is indeed proud and well on his way to realizing and living the knightly virtues. I am honored to count him among my peers. Signed by his hand this day, 17 September, Anio Sosonatus 51.
Is there a companion of the laurel who attests to Kai's skill in the arts and sciences?
There is, Your Majesty. I am Baroness Gwyneth, companion of the laurel by the hand of Osis and Valviona. Several years ago in K-War, I had the opportunity to teach a class for my first time as a rapier instructor. Kai agreed to help be my assistant during that class. This makes the difference between one instruction can make a difference. I was working with a student who was having an issue with why his blade isn't doing what it's supposed to do. He took that student's sword, moved it by 6 inches, and that completely changed the game. This truly is the value of an excellent instructor, and I commend him to you. Thank you.
Is there a companion of the pelican who will attest to Kai's service?
Your Majesty, as it turns out, there is. Kai Cheng has been chosen as one of the protege of Mistress Maggie and myself. Kai is all kinds of helpful. Whenever he sees something that needs to be done, for instance, during a border skirmish, when a standby assistant autocrat needed the great huge bunking door shield tent put up because, well, never mind why, but need to be put up. He generated a whole host of thieves and others to put it up, even though they had never done so before. He was instrumental in putting on one K-War in the Shire and helped in another one. All kinds of helpful, Your Majesty. I commend him to you.
Kai. Right mindful of your prowess in the art of defense. Okay, moving on. Is there a member of the populace who would wish to speak for Kai today?
Hi, Baroness Nan Astrid. I would like to speak to Kai Sung's nobility. He is a champion, a royal champion, and my champion. He's always been there with a hand to help anyone up and a shoulder for them to lean upon. I cannot speak highly enough of him.
Kai, right mindful of your prowess in the art of defense, and responsive to the wishes of your peers, we are resolved to create you a master of defense. Know that to wear the color of a master of defense is to hold in sacred trust that the obligations of peerage will demand your efforts every moment of your life. A master of defense must be honorable in all things, bearing courage, all trials and tribulations. A master of defense must love virtue above himself, being willing to sacrifice himself in its defense. A master of defense must ever be mindful of the power of his weapon, tempering its use with mercy and forbearing unwarranted violence. A master of defense must love his kingdom and his province, and fulfill most faithfully his feudal duties to his baron and his king. His word must be dependable beyond doubt or question. He must never flee from the face of his foes. He must be generous to all, and always and everywhere. He must be the guardian of the just and the right. The laws of the society and the customs of the kingdom require that a master possess exceptional prowess, as you have demonstrated. upon the field, that a master be courteous, as you have shown yourself to be, and these noble gentlemen and ladies attest, and that a master be loyal to his kingdom and the society. Do you then desire to accept the burden of peerage?
I do, Your Majesty.
Is there a collar?
There's at least one.
Oh, is there another one?
One of the original three characters.
Then take from our hands a symbol of nobility and token of our esteem. Wear it proudly that all may recognize your skills and your service as we have acknowledged it this day. Is there a sword?
There is, Your Majesty.
Sorry, Your Majesty, that's my fault.
Wrong one.
They're not of this world. This is a primer Bear your sword with skill, so disposing your heart to goodness that you never use it to injure anyone unjustly, but always use it to defend the just and the right. Is there a cloak? Wear this cloak in outward token of your station. Some people wear different things. We'll have cloak now.
I'm here swear fealty and homage to the crown of the Middle Kingdom, to ever stand in its defense, facing my foes with courage and honor, protecting the innocent, mindful of mercy, obedient to my liege lord, and guardian of the just and right. Thus swear I say.
This do we hear and shall never forget, nor fail to reward that which is given. Fealty with love, service with honor, and oath breaking with vengeance. Rise, Master Kai, Master of Defense.
Affairs is home.
A pair of mighty monarchs, Cameron Rex and Amelie Regina, draconic majesties of the Middle Kingdom. Whole words fly so swiftly and dance slowly in the sun. See before us a land victorious of noble virtue, courage and great renown, defending our realm, unceasing as the dragons with the kill of sword and blood, striking with the speed and inspiring fear in those who stand against us. We also witness a sharing of wisdom, knowledge, and courtly graces, and instruction to all. With nimble speed, we recognize Kai Cheng as a peer of the realm, and elevate him to the order of the Masters of Defense, where his graceful form shall be a boon. Done the 17th day of September in the Shire of Ravenslake, Honor Societatis 51.
Well, take them with you and celebrate.
For Master Kai! Huzzah!
sick, Her Excellency made some favors for McMahon staff, and unfortunately, some people did not get some because we were kind of short. So, we would like to correct that error today.
Her Majesty calls before her. Dauphin Blade.
Hey, I have a question for you. What's her
Yes, Your
name?
Majesty. Your Majesty. Her Excellency is the one and only Baroness Molly. She is not Baroness Maggie, nor is she Baroness Mari. They are indeed wonderful representatives of their baronies, but she is the one and only Baroness Molly.
All right, I have a favorite of yours now. As a reminder, just in case, it says, Dauphin, what's my name? It also says, Molly, Molly, Molly.
As a reminder. Thank you so much.
Please rise and come forward as your name is called. Lieutenant General Mirabai Al-Sitir. Moira Eriksdottir. Trevor Sinclair. Rashid Al-Sanat. Cole Adoran. Darius Lowen. Vladimir Grigorovich de Ragun. Geneviève de Tenonceau. Bertha de Yagarin. Fujinami no MKAOD. Cecily O'Donnell. If any of you are willing to receive this favor for a person who was called and was not here this evening, please see Baroness Molly after
Thank you.
Her Majesty calls before her Dignitar Lapsa. We, Cameron, king by right of arms, and Amelie, our queen of love and beauty, send greetings. As we know that the treasure of a kingdom lies in its future leaders, so do we know that such a person is before us in Dignitar Lapsa. And in recognition of his accomplishments in the martial arts, it is fitting that we honor him by naming him a baton. As he has adorned the crown of the Middle Kingdom until now, so shall he continue to do so in our hearts. For Dignitar Lapsa. Her Majesty calls before her Freder Lapsa. We, Cameron, king by right of arms, and Amelie, our queen of love and beauty, send greetings. As we know that the treasure of a kingdom lies in its future leaders, so do we know that such a person is before us in Freder Lapsa. And in recognition of his accomplishments in the martial arts, it is fitting that we honor him by naming him a baton. As he has adorned the crown of the Middle Kingdom until now, so shall he continue to do so in our hearts. For Freder
into our presence Susanna Hurst. Right after the Red Company assembles.
It's funny. She's so smart. All right, so there's not that many of you here today. That's cool. You guys are here. That's great. But I still think there's one more person who may have already been in that should be amongst your orders. Now, Paul.
Her Majesty desires the presence of Susanna Hurst. In all the armies of history, there have been many warriors who have fought and led from within the ranks, rising to positions of great honor. A warrior has many virtues, such as skill at arms, leadership on the field, and teaching of the arts martial. Therefore, we, Cameron and Amelie, King and Queen of the Mid-Realm, do herewith recognize Susanna Hurst as a member of the Order of the Red Company. She may style herself a sergeant of that noble order, and may bear its badge as duly registered with the College of Arms.
All right.
You are certainly correct, Your Majesty. Red Company, you are dismissed.
Thank you, guys.
Her Majesty desires the presence of Adela of Ayrton.
I was explaining to her.
Be it known that we, Cameron, King of the Middle Kingdom, and Amelie, our Queen, would honor Adela of Ayrton for her superior skills in archery and service to the Archery Community Corps of the Middle Kingdom. Therefore, we are minded to create her a companion of the Order of the Dragon's Bar, and thus bestow upon her for Lady Adela. Hoorah! Her Majesty desires the presence of Mistress Janetta.
Hi, Your Majesty. Your Majesty, I would beg a boon.
Ask if it'd be a right and proper thing shall be yours.
At Kingdom Arts and Sciences recently, you saw fit to place my apprentice, Philippa Montague, on vigil for the Order of the Laurel. I ask now that you enter her into this order.
Masters and mistresses of the laurel, present yourselves before Her Majesty.
Noble lords and ladies, is it your opinion that Philippa, for her skill in costuming, is worthy of elevation into the order of the world?
Aye!
Paul, put your hand in.
The Honorable Philippa Montague, Her Majesty requests your presence.
Is there a royal peer who will attest to Philippa's nobility?
Your Majesty, I bear words from Count Saverick de Pardieu and Countess Juliana de Pardieu. They are unfortunately not able to be here. These are the words they would say in their hearts if they were here. Philippa has shown herself to be courteous to her local people, to local shire. She has opened her house, given of herself in teaching, given of herself in the creation of wonderful regard for other people. She has been of assistance to train other people to do demos and to present themselves most worthily, both before the court and before the populace. It is a sign of her grace and her nobility that though she entered the SCA with many skills in the arts for which she is now rewarded, yet she maintained her humility and her kindness while learning the ways of this new group. So, on behalf of Count Saverick and Countess Juliana, I commend her to you for her grace, her nobility, and for her ever-present charming smile.
Thank you. Is there a companion of the Pelican who will attest to Philippa's service?
Your Majesty, there is. I, Marie Lafontaine, would speak. Philippa's service within the field of her art is well known. In research, in teaching, in enhancing our shared experience through the beauty of her work. But what is less well known, perhaps, but certainly equally present, is her service in other fields. Philippa quietly and consistently gives support as an organizer, as exchequer, as web minister, as hostess of many a work gathering, and as a remarkable back-of-the-tablet practical engineer. And she does all of this with quiet, good sense, and if you're lucky, that rare and sunrise smile. For all of these things and many, many more that I could spend an evening saying, I am proud to say that Philippa is my friend, my sister, and most definitely my peer.
Is there a companion of the Order of the Laurel who would wish to speak today?
Yes, Your Majesty. I, Master Eric Gleason, would like to say a few words, which I had to write in my hands before. In my opinion, what it means to be a Laurel, you must have three things to be of the highest caliber artisan. You must have knowledge, skill, and experience. If you have knowledge and experience, you may be a scholar, but you're not an artisan. If you have skill and experience, but devoid of knowledge, you will develop things that are not authentic. If you have skill and knowledge without experience, you may be a marathon runner who has never broken a sweat. So, the Honorable Lady Philippa possesses and regularly demonstrates all three of these things. Is that enough? No. A laurel must serve to inspire, to have others create beautiful and authentic works. A laurel must serve as the mascot of our team. Go Team SCA. A laurel must continue to set the bar, to raise the bar, and to raise the bar again. Does Philippa do this? Undoubtedly. The Honorable Lady Philippa has long been my peer, and I am thusly gladdened and humbly honored to recommend to you that she be recognized publicly for the entire society's use.
Yes, Your Majesty. Busy guy. I'm Master Anton Dumaret, and I can speak. There have been comments of Philippa's skill, her ability, but the thing that impresses me the most, Philippa, is her courage. The courage to give up what you know, what for most of us would be phenomenal, something that a piece of garb, a thing that we would keep forever. Philippa has a closet full of these things that will never see the light of day again because, in her words, I've learned so much since then. To me, that is the difference between a talented amateur, a person who has dedication, but not master. And master is the person willing to give up what they have in their hand for the opportunity to pursue perfection. I have seen Philippa do this over and over again. For that reason, Your Majesty, she is without question my peer, and I most highly recommend her.
Is there a member of the populace who would wish to speak today?
Your Majesty, Susanna Hurst, and so Philippa was one of the first people I met when I moved here, and was my first real introduction to the arts in the SCA. Before then, I was sewing and making things on my own. Since that time, we've become close friends, and she's helped me with countless projects, many of which I was struggling with before I met her. She is a fantastic teacher. She manages to share her knowledge and experience in a way that encourages people to find their own path. She's opened up her home every time I've wanted to work on some crazy, huge project. And usually, like when I built my tent, she'd already done it crazier and huger. When she asked me to make her laurel wreath, I was incredibly honored and then incredibly terrified. This was a project far outside my comfort zone, and this was the first time I would be able to ask her for help. So she asked me to make a filament for her French hood. I googled filaments, and the first and best website that popped up was hers. Not only did it have an in-depth article on French hoods, she had a clear and easy to follow tutorial on how to make a filament. So even on the project I made without her, she was there to help me. Philippa is a wonderful example of a laurel. The depth of her research and body of work is astounding. She's always learning and making something new. Being around her is incredibly inspiring. So I commend Your Majesties on your decision to elevate her to the Order of the Laurel.
Philippa, I'm mindful of your service to society and responsive to the wishes of your peers. We are resolved to create you mistress of the laurel. As the laurel wreath has ever stood for excellence, so do we give it to you as a symbol of mastery of your art. Therefore, will you, Philippa, give us your word to continue to fulfill the requirements set forth for the governance of this order, as you most surely have from now. Will you increase your labor, increase your talents as befits one of your rank, and seek to disseminate your talents and abilities throughout the society? Do you promise to train any dependents you may have to do likewise? Is there a medallion?
There is, Your Majesty.
This is the medallion that was given to me 12 years ago when I was elevated to the Order of the Laurel. I'm so honored that you asked to be part of my journey in the SCA in life.
And I'm honored to be able to present this to you as a member of the State.
Then take from our hands a symbol of humility and a token of our esteem. Wear it proudly that all may recognize your skills and your service as we acknowledge it this day. Sorry, did you feel it? Is there a book? There we, there is your majesty. I think there's a, real story about it. Bear this for each of the symbol of your excellence. We'll have your oath. This doing here shall never forget, nor fail to reward that which is given. Fealty of love, service and honor, so bringing independence. Rise, Mrs. Hoga, hidden of the laurel. Was cheered. Yes, let's see the scroll. Bring the scroll. Oh, yeah.
Oh no, by these presents, that we, Cameron and Ollie, king and queen of the Middle Kingdom, in consideration of the skills and expertise in the arts and sciences that Philippa Montague has displayed, most especially in the art of Tudor clothing, are minded to create Philippa a companion of the Order of the Laurel, to be in all places numbered a peer of our realm.
All right. Well, huh? I mean,
For Mistress Philippa Montague, Hooah!
I know. You know, we're done. Okay. Masters and mistresses of the Pelican. Sorry, this is wrong line. Oh my gosh. Move your finger, kid. Read it this way. Noble lords and ladies, is it your opinion that Anton is worthy of elevation into the Order of the Pelican?
Aye!
Call for the candidate.
Her Majesty requests the presence of Master Anton Dumoulin.
Is there a royal peer who will attest to Anton's nobility?
There is, Your Majesty. I am Viscountess Astrid of Yellow Rose, and Duke, Moonwolf, Stark Otters, and isn't able to be here, but sent these words for him. These are the words of Moonwolf, Duke of the Middle Kingdom, Pelican, and Master of Arms within the Society of Creative Anachronism. In the years I have known Master of Defense Anton Dumars, he has ever worked and fought for the crown and people of the Mid-Realm. His qualities as peer have been seen and recognized upon the lists and wars of the rapier field, and his peer-like service in this kingdom is recognized now. I welcome him as my brother in service to the kingdom and the society. He makes me proud to be a member of the Order of the Pelican and proud to be a member of the Middle Kingdom.
Thank you. Is there a member of the chivalry who will attest to Anton's courtesy and chivalry?
Your Majesty, I wish to speak upon this with all of my wicked heart. May I address your court? As Her Majesty knows, and some others, I am finicky about the word chivalry. It is a subject to which I have dedicated much of my existence, and in spite of my best efforts, I am still but a beginning student. The question before the court is if this man possessed chivalry required of him to take and fulfill this oath of service. It is a difficult question, for I am still not convinced that chivalry is something you possess. Perhaps it possesses you. I would propose that the intent of this oath, written by our ancestors, puts upon the oath maker the necessity of franchise. For in my opinion, that is the alchemical virtue of chivalry. What is franchise? In crude terms, franchise is the obligation of nobility. You do what you do because you are what you are. Because you can't help it. Because your very being demands it. Many years ago, literally 15 seconds after I met this man, I, an untutored, untested, and very coarse man of coat armor, was served by him so nobly that I instantly knew what he was, though perhaps I didn't have the words. Since that time, he has served masters and kings, been champion to queens. He has gracefully suffered coarse peasants with croaking tongues and hubris-bloated bags who spew forth rancid words. He has protected noble ladies. He has marshaled wicked thieves to the path of ennoblement. He has been an exemplar and, in fact, been one of the reasons for the founding of an entirely new order. He has made countless children laugh and delight, been the martial test of other men's spirits, made beautiful maidens swoon, and perhaps a lad or two. He has shed blood for my king. He has given shelter to a knight in need. He has fulfilled oaths of word and of blood. He has been my friend. And that is not altogether easy. Through all these things, all of these trials and honors and heartbreaks and victories, ever and always he has acted in accordance with franchise. He has been defined by his nobility because he could not do otherwise. Over the years, he has honed this skill of service to a level of art. If you watch, it seems effortless at times, though it is far from it. He has served the beloved people for which I am sworn to protect so well that it reaches the level of sprezzatura. That is mighty. Your Majesty, this man is noble and has great capacity to express chivalry. I would trust my life, my honor, and most importantly, the well-being of your people to his wisdom. Thus is my counsel given.
Is there a companion of the Laurel who will attest to Anton's skill in the arts and sciences?
Chrétien. To be honest, I wouldn't want to follow that up either. Master Chrétien.
Can I do it?
Sure.
Her Majesty requests the presence of Master Chrétien.
Very well. Apparently I needed to check in with him earlier. He was way more brief.
He suffered several blows to the head on the field.
Well, Your Majesty, before you sits a man of such enormous honor, tact, virtue, loyalty. It is unsurprising to any who know him that he is now twice a peer of the society. As some may know, I had the honor of knowing Anton early in his time in society and working with him when he was but a youth. It's been a while. Or at least a younger man. In that time, when he was being debated for his entry into the company of the Bronze Ring, it was my counsel to the crown that I was expecting, I was waiting for some moment when he would break through and become the fighter he is today. I expected so much of him then. And when I counseled the crown to enter him into that, then the highest order for rapier combat, it was because I had not seen the breakthrough in his combat that I wanted, but the leadership that he had expressed, the way that he was able to bind others together around a common cause to make all of us better before merely himself. I can think of no greater testimony to recommend him to this noble order.
Is there a Master of Defense who will attest to Anton's courage and honor?
Your Majesty, I know I just sort of got here, but I've known Anton for a very, very long time. I remember the first day that I met him. It was a Tuesday night fight practice, and I rolled in a little late, and there was this guy standing out there on the field waving his swords around, and all I thought was, someone ought to tell him not to put his face in the way. He has learned so much since then. He's learned so much that he's become an inspiration to anyone who takes up steel in the defense of the dragon. But that's not all that Anton has brought to this order. Someone I trust and whose counsel I value very much said that a peer is not just someone who goes out and does things. A peer is someone who, by their actions and by their example, encourages others to take up that service as well. And that is what Anton does. That's what makes Anton exceptional. It doesn't matter whether he is on the field, whether he is teaching and giving up his knowledge, whether he is helping people who are new to the society and giving up his resources and his hospitality. He gives and he gives and he gives, and there's always more there. And it is for these reasons, for this capacity to make all of us greater than the sum of our parts, that I wholeheartedly commend Master Anton to the Order of the Pelican. Thank you.
Thank you. Anton, right mindful of your service to the society and responses to the wishes of your peers, we are resolved to create you Master of the Pelican, which creature will nourish her young, when necessary, with the blood from her own breast, and therefore has been chosen as the most appropriate symbol of service to our society. Therefore, will you, Anton, give us your word to continue to fulfill the requirements set forth for the governance of this order as you most surely have till now?
I will.
Will you increase your labors nobly, increase your talents as befits one of your rank, and seek to disseminate your talents and abilities throughout society?
I will.
Do you promise to train any dependents you may have to serve as you have served?
I will.
Is there a medallion?
There is, Your Majesty, but there is something that I need back from Anton. Prior to that,
I'm sorry.
Anton has been my protege for many years. When I first approached him to become a protege, he thought about it for a while, and he came back to me and he said, you know, I thought my career was all wrapped up in the SCA. I have my bronze ring. So,
True story.
yes. And so it made him think a little bit, but I have been honored in having you be my protege. And I take this back and release you, but not from friendship and from comradeship. But I also return this to you that you may bestow it on someone that would follow in the same footsteps. And this is the medallion that I have worn for many years.
Then take from our hands this symbol of nobility and token of our esteem. Wear it proudly that all may recognize your service as we have acknowledged it this day. Is there a cap of maintenance? Wear this cap of maintenance as a symbol of your service. Which side is it?
Just stick it out there.
I know some of them. Your head's dirty, I'm sorry.
Not the least of my shortcomings.
We'll have your own.
He is his own person.
I here swear fealty and due homage to the crown of the Middle Kingdom, to serve the crown in all things, to remember courtesy and kindness, to prize justice above personal gain, to labor for the common good, to enrich the kingdom and the society so they may flourish and grow, and to be worthy the title of Pelican. Here by my honor, my hand, and my heart swear I, Anton Dumaret.
This do we hear and shall never forget, nor fail to reward that which is given. Fealty with love, service with honor, and oath breaking with vengeance.
Be it known by all that we, Cameron and Amelie, King and Queen of the Middle Lands, in consideration of the consistent and humble way in which he embodies the very virtuous service and so inspires others to the betterment of our society, do find Master Anton Dumaret worthy and make him a companion of the Order of the Pelican, numbered again, a peer of our realm.
Rise, Master Anton.